Congratulations, you are so close to being done with middle school and the eighth grade. But despite all the excellent work you guys have done in social studies, there is still so much to do to make sure that we are all the way up at the level that we should be at that either high basic, making it into mastery, or all the way close to advanced. So let's see what we're going to do for these next 4 weeks until we're ready. So our leap is April 14th. That's this time right here. And right now we are at March 2nd, I'm sorry, right there. So we've got 2 weeks until you guys take the park for ELA. And then after that, there's 1 week of school, 1 week of vacation, and then another week of school before we take the social studies leap. So in that time, what we need to do is practice the things that we know to make them even better and get those last few little things that we missed throughout the year or throughout the past 3 years to bring ourselves up to the highest we can possibly be at. Because there is no excuse for getting less than a basic. So what we're going to do in order to fill in those skills is to make up everything that we may have missed throughout the year. So if you go to this link, bit.ly/DTA8SS review, you can see your scores for the entire year. What we're going to do with that is look at each one in which we scored less than a 70%. Anything less than a 70% leaves us open to scoring less than a basic on a test, because that less than a 70 shows that there were some things on there that you weren't really clear about and that you could have done better on. So there may have been some skills that you missed. There may have been some facts that you may have forgotten. Those are things that we need to fill in those gaps. So, for example, if you go to that link, it looks like this. It'll pop up and you'll have everybody's name at the top for your class. This one is Harvard, and then you'll have every one of the lessons that we've done throughout the year on the left side. So if we zoom in, you can see, like, for example, Aaron Delgado, he scored a 69 on Maps of Louisiana. That's really close. But he also scored a 29 on the time zones lesson. So that shows Aaron Delgado that when he looks at that lesson, he needs to go back and there's something he missed on that day that he really should have done better on. Another example is if I look down here at Aaron's score for Louisiana wetlands, that's showing he has a 0. So that's showing he didn't do that. Maybe he was absent on that day, or maybe it was something that he was really bad at, but usually a 0 means you were absent. So that's something that he missed throughout the year, and he needs to do that lesson to make sure that he has those skills so he can absolutely get those questions 100% right when it shows up on the test. So what your job is to do this week and for the next 4 weeks while we're working on our review is you need to redo those lessons. Anything that's highlighted in red, you need to redo. And all of those are going to be assigned to you on your Educated page. So you'll see all the lessons, all the possible lessons for this week that you could do, and only do the ones that you need to do because they were highlighted in red. Then after you finish each video, go to the link on the board and write a rage paragraph summarizing what you learned about that lesson. It's really easy. It's just saying, like, this is in general what you were doing, but you need to make sure you're making up those lessons. Any class with 90% of the students at 90% of their lessons greater than 70%, so they're not in the red anymore, they get donuts and Pandora, be able to listen to music while you're in class on Friday. I'll bring in hot donuts. Everybody will get them if that 90% of students has greater than 70% on 90% of their lessons. So we are going to be doing something else during the week as well, because working on those lessons is not the only thing that we need to work on. We also have to be prepared for the writing task in social studies. So we're going to be doing a writing assignment each week, and that's to prepare for the social studies task. It's really similar to ELA, but it's not exactly the same. So we'll be looking at that. The people that I'll be pulling out to work on the writing assignment, I'm going to start with the people who have most of their videos done. And if you're someone who has a lot of videos to make up, like say someone who wasn't here at the beginning of the year, like Kirel, for instance, that person doesn't have to do the writing assignment because they have so much video to make up. But I'll be pulling out almost everybody because almost everybody has done enough of the videos that they have time to make this up. So this week, we're going to be doing 2 different sections of videos. There's the Louisiana history ones. We'll be able to get all the way through that unit, and the civics ones. So you'll be able to get part way through the civics unit. Remember, anything that's not in red, you do not have to do. The writing assignment is going to be on NAFTA, and when I pull you out, you'll see what that looks like. If you finish early, do not sit around and distract other people. You have so many people in this class who are so close to either making basic or bringing that basic up to a mastery or bringing that mastery up to an advanced. You cannot spend your time taking away from other people's learning. What you do need to do is go to bit.ly/DTASS finished to see your choices for what you can do next. There's a lot of things there that you could do. It's up to you to figure them out. So remember, the most important thing for today is filling in those gaps of things we missed throughout the year to make sure that we are 100% ready for that test when it comes up.